All right, here we are at Wizards of the Coast. I'm here with Chris Perkins, the senior producer of Dungeons & Dragons, and I'm really excited. I'm always excited to go to PAX, this gaming convention, because this is one of the only places aside from like Gen Con where you guys are normally seen. And you guys are, what's really impressing me about Dungeons & Dragons right now is you guys are making a real effort, now more than ever, to reach out to gamers and recruit new people.
Yeah, basically that's it. We're here at the show promoting D&D Encounters, which is our new in-store play program. It's been going on for about a few months now, and it's a great opportunity for people just to play D&D at the drop of a hat. They just walk into a store, they grab a character, or they bring their own character. They sit down and play for an hour with their friends or with strangers, and then whoop, they're gone. They can come back the next week for part of the continuing story or not. It's totally up to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what's impressing me right now, because I get messages all the time because me and Jason play D&D all the time, and one of the most questions I get is, I don't know how to start. And that's where you guys are really stepping in and stepping up to really tell people how to start. You know, you've got the one really great product, the Red Starter Box, which is available now, which really walks you through, if you don't know anything about D&D, you know, what it's like, the atmosphere it is, how to start. You know, it leads you through the rules. It's a tutorial for playing D&D. You know, the Essentials line, all this stuff, the board games like Wrath of Ashardlan. You know, these games like that are kind of simplified versions of D&D. With the encounter system, you can meet people. It doesn't make a huge demand on your time. You don't need an established group. And you go there and you meet friends, and you can form your own groups. And I think that's really impressive. So what is new that you're bringing to PAX East and you're showing people now? I noticed that you guys are running like a live dungeon, which I saw that last time, but it's really cool. And I think you've shaken it up quite a bit now.
Yeah, we've got basically this thing where we've got a big giant grid on the floor that you stand on. You're essentially playing your miniature, and you are trying to survive an encounter with Strahd and with the dragon Ashardlan. And that's just part of, you know, getting people engaged in what D&D is all about. It's just a taste of what D&D is, really, but it's a lot of fun. Also at the show, we're going to be demoing the D&D virtual table, which is yet another way for us to get new people in, as well as connect people whose games have been broken up by circumstance. Yes. People move away all the time, the game group falls apart. This is just another way to bring them back together. So we want to show it off, show people where we are right now with the progress of the VT, and give people an idea of what they're in for.
And that's the real question, is how did it take so long to work this out? You've got this fantastic tool for social networking and bringing people together, and I've seen so many groups fall apart because, you know, you can't get people together in the same place at the same time. It just doesn't work out. You know, people have lives. They you know, people move. Things happen like that. And really, gamers, it's like an underground movement up to now where they kind of have to kludge together their own tools and, you know, do it on IRC, do it over Skype and stuff like that. And it's really great to see finally there's like an official there's an official piece of software that can do this, and it's supported by the company. And it can actually, you know, it's got tools that are integrated into the program that'll help you do this. And so I'm sure I really want to check this demo out just to see how well it works together and how you can integrate and like DM management campaign tools and stuff like that. Another thing that I saw that is relatively new are the fortune cards. There's little booster packs of cards that add another little element to the combat. So maybe you could tell me about that.
Absolutely. This is an experiment on our part. It's part of the in-store encounters program that we wanted to give players another little toy to play with, if they want to. It's purely optional. But the idea is that you pick up a couple of these packs, you put together a deck, and these are random fire and forget benefits that your characters can do aside from anything else that they're capable of. And they just sort of add a fun kind of random miscellaneous element to the game. There's some surprises. There's some, oh, wow, I didn't know I could do that kind of moments. It's really a test for us, just to see what other things we can give players to keep them interested and engaged, to give them something else to kind of play with, something they can take home and experiment with their home campaigns. It's just us trying to kind of feel things out.
And I was a little not cynical, but skeptical of it at first, because I'm like, oh, you're kind of introducing another random element. But I started to think about that, and it's that kind of, you like when you watch a Jackie Chan movie, there's always something unique about the fight scene, some kind of instance of circumstance that makes that fight unique. Someone's fighting with a handicap, someone's fighting with an advantage, and it's being able to overcome that element that I think makes the combats more exciting and involving. And I think that's where you guys are coming from. It's because it's those little things that people remember, and it makes those fights memorable. And it's just not, we're doing another fight against another group of goblins. That's what I thought was really interesting about that. Also, you've got this new board game. How does this compare to Castle Ravenloft, which is the last board game you released?
These two games are actually related to each other. They kind of use the same base system so that you can mix and match the games if you want to. The experiences are very similar in that respect. So you're basically building out your dungeon, and then the heroes are trying to survive the various challenges, but all the tiles, all the components, all the miniatures of the two games can be shared so that you can create an experience that's, Castle of Chardalon or, Wrath of Ravenloft. You can sort of mix and match them. Board games is another expression of D&D that we're really kind of diving into. In addition to these games, you'll start to see some board games that have different feels to them, that offer different experiences for different types of players. That's really what it's all about for us going forward, is taking D&D into all of its various expressions, giving options for players who can't get their groups together to do things that are very much true to the spirit of D&D.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about for me right now is accessibility. That's one of the biggest things where people don't play because they're scared of it, they're intimidated by it. Now you've got D&D that's accessible to anyone. You've got people starting out with this. If you've got people who are more used to board games, you've got something that can relate to them like that. You've got the dungeon tiles. You make it visual. You make it easy for them to relate to. That's what I think is really exciting. So I want to check out that live dungeon right now, and I'll be back. I'm going to show people footage, if I can, of the live tabletop, the virtual tabletop online. So Chris, thank you so much for talking with me. Play D&D, guys, please. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So it's a great social experience, and it'll get you. You don't even need to leave the house now. You can play it online. So hey, you got no excuse.
Even I have to admit, the D&D fortune cards are an experiment with long-shot odds. They'll have to be pretty darn special for gamers to want to shell out money. They actually seem like a lot of fun, but old schoolers might really rebel at yet another step away from the purity of the game. See, I'm a little torn on this one. I'm exactly that kind of old-school gamer, but I'm all about game companies trying new things, so I guess I'll check them out and let you know. The D&D fortune cards are currently available wherever fine RPGs are sold. As for the virtual table, that's something Wizards of the Coast has been promising long ago when D&D 4th edition first came out years ago. Right now, it's currently in closed beta, and I'm very excited to take my online game there when it's finally made public. For more information, go to dndinsider.com.
He's getting impatient. That's it. You're just...
D&D Encounters is kind of a new format for playing Dungeons & Dragons where you get together at a hobby store or a gaming store.
It's basically like a mini campaign designed to run over a series of a number of months.
They do an encounter a night, about 2 hours.
It gives a chance for newer players to get introduced.
If you don't have a lot of time during the day, it's always good to be able to play just a quick game.
It's a small slice. It gives, I think, more players an opportunity to come in and play because, quite frankly, in today's busy world, 2 hours is a lot easier to find than 4 to 6 hours.
I like that you can drop in because I'm in school right now and I can't come every week, so it's great to just be able to come for a few.
The Dungeon Master, well, he's first and foremost a storyteller.
We've had several different DMs,
so... And you told me the first one was doing great voices and great sound effects.
Yes.
But DM, we're not supposed to kill the party, just almost.
Very imaginative.
I'm a little bit of a ham, so I enjoy, playing out the characters, and hopefully that makes things a little bit more challenging for them.
Instead of just having an orc run up or a human run up and swing a sword at us, he describes it and says what's going on, acts out in the little voices, screams and runs. It's great. The story pulled me in. I like the way that everything's tying in together. There's a lot of unique traps and puzzles to go through that really tie into the background of the story very well. It's been a lot of fun so far.
D&D in general is just a fun chance to get together, hang out, role play through scenarios with other people, and kind of step out of real life for a minute and just have a lot of fun.
All walks of life, gamers, non-gamers.
So it's a really great melting pot of D&D players that are participating in D&D Encounters.